A true heroine, a brave, bold, bad female hero of the Texas Revolution. Now, when she is born, her name is Emily West. It's about 2 decades before the Battle of the Alamo, and Emily West is born a beautiful, free woman of color. As she becomes an adult, she is traveling as she is seeking economic opportunity. She comes into Texas and she ends up meeting up with Captain Morgan of the Texas Army. Different Captain Morgan than you already know. Yeah, I know him too. I got a date with him in about 2 hours. Yeah, my people right there, I know. But this is a different guy. Maybe his descendant, right? There we go. And she ends up becoming an indentured servant, and it is in her servitude that she rises to be considered a heroine, a hero of the Texas Revolution. So this happens immediately following the Battle of the Alamo. Santa Anna is still quite pissed off and annoyed, and as he travels Texas on his way to the next battle destination, he is slaughtering up everybody that he sees. Men, women, and children. People are dying. But for a moment, he stops the violence when he sees her. So my friends, this is a rendering of the gorgeous Miss Emily Morgan West. And when he sees her, he knows she is the most stunningly beautiful woman he has seen. And when he sees her beauty, her charms, her grace, he knows that he must keep her for his own. Now, I am certain that she is utterly offended by this absolute nonsense. However, this is a terrible, no good, very bad time in history, especially for people like her. She is a woman. She is of color. She is poor. So now she is a prisoner to the general of the Mexican army. And this is a sad, scary, bad place to be. But Emily Morgan West, she is brave, and she is courageous, and she's smart, and she is writing down everything she sees, knows, and hears, and now she is holding on to secret insider information she intends to use to help her Texas. And it is uncertain how she's able to do this. It is often credited by unnamed little children, but those notes were passed along all the way and they made it into the hands of Sam Houston. Now it is the next battle destination. It's at the Battle of San Jacinto that Santa Anna and the Mexican army, they're defeated. And it is known that during that battle, our girl, Emily Morgan West here, she was doing her part yet again. As during that battle, she's with Santa Anna. She is in his tent. She was keeping him occupied, so he would not be able to stay on top of his troops. Now, the Battle of the Alamo, that was a 13-day siege. The Battle of San Jacinto is won in 17 minutes. 13 days and 17 minutes, my friends. I feel this has to be the ultimate proof of the divine female energy. Hence, the building is named in her honor, the Emily Morgan Hotel. The classic country folk song, The Yellow Rose of Texas, is also written inspired by the beauties of Emily Morgan West, as her lovely mixed race skin color was referred to as high yellow, which is a derogatory term. However, I take that back to share with you as a female of color in knowledge again. The Yellow Rose of Texas, she's the only girl for me. That's part of the song. Okay, so this building, I like to refer to it as, the very least, a triple threat to the paranormal. First threat is location. Here it is. Here's the Alamo. Here's the North Wall. Here's where everybody died. So that is one. Not to mention sacred grounds, right? So that's one, location. Two, it is a hotel. Now, why do we hear about so many haunted hotels? I will give you my professional theory. So when you travel, your hotel is your home. It is the most intimate of places. And when you travel, your emotions are always more. Whether you're all about it or you're done, however you feel, it's elevated. A hotel is a revolving, forever and ever, amen, revolving door of intimacy and emotions, which can greatly stain environments. So two, threat to the paranormal is a hotel. And the third threat, at the very least, to the paranormal here is the origin, which this building turns 100 years old this year as it opens April Fool's Day, 1926, as our area's first proper hospital. The basement is the morgue, complete with state-of-the-art crematoriums. On floors 3, 7, and 8, they're doing different levels of psychiatrics. Above that, they were having babies, and the top 2 floors were all operation rooms. And of course, a hospital. People come to be born, they come to die, everybody's emotional. That is a well-known hotbed for paranormal, lingering energy, yes. Let's remember this is a hospital active the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and in those earliest decades we could very easily use words like experimental to describe the medical practice here. And that's what continued on for 60 years plus in the name of medical science. Now for this tour, I like to focus with y'all on the very macabre transformation from a hospital to a hotel. So the hospital was abandoned. They left things behind. The building needed to be assessed. The hotel goes down to the morgue. They find the crematorium. They are pretty sure that as a new hotel, they probably won't be burning any more dead bodies. But those pilot lights, well, they look good. Oh, they're working real nice too, so we can use them. So they decided to reroute the pilot lights from the cremation fires right here to the first floor lobby. Today it is the fireplace. It is extra cozy as it is lit using the cremation fires. My friends, this is literally the cremation fireplace. I call this romantic. Really, I call it necromantic. Now, keeping up with the resourcefulness, they had to search the whole place. And they were stacking up hallways and rooms full of metal gurneys and metal surgery trays and hospital trays, and they're all used, and they're piling on top of that surgical equipment, scalpels, all these medical used metal items. They decide that all this metal, it has value, it has purpose, it can be used if we recycle it. So they recycle down all the gurneys, all the medical trays, equipment into flat sheets of metal, which is an okay idea. Then they had another okay idea. They decided to use those gurney, scalpel, surgical sheets to line their swimming pool. So if you are a guest of the Emily Morgan Hotel, you have access to the pool. It's on the second floor, outdoor in the back, little oddly shaped pool. Right away you can look in and see it is uniquely lined with metal. You can even see where those sheets are just welded in a grid. If you are willing, this is the unique opportunity to swim with the dead. Now this type of paranormal experience, my friends, happens throughout the building. I've even, myself and others and guests on tour have experienced it from just walking outside the building. You just kind of stop, you're like, but the strongest and the most often occurring experience comes from the top 2 floors, which are the former operation floors. Let's imagine you're up there, you exit the elevator on the top floor, and bam, it hits you. It's the smell of a hospital. Now, I smell it like a very stale old hospital. If you guys went into a hospital or medical facility that smelled like this, you would need answers right now. Why has this ventilation, this air, whatever, been so wrong so long? But for other people, it gets worse. They're even smelling things like death, decay, and blood. I know, but do not get me wrong. The employees at this hotel, I actually refer to us, the service industry that we run in downtown, as the good, hard-working crew, which means I know these employees value their job and they are cleaning up to the standards that they should. So it is not cleanliness, it is not sanitation, it is something very strong, strange. It is the history that is active in the air throughout this building, the extramost on the top 2 floors. Now let's jump forward. The tour is done. Each of you has already given me the biggest tip you ever gave a tour guide. Thank you so much. You're also leaving me a 5-star review as you walk. He's like, wait, what? Yeah. You're also leaving me the 5-star review, right? And you're walking fast because you got a date at the oldest pub in Texas. I feel you. When you get back here, you might get a call from the Mogran Hotel, and it might suggest that you smell that smell yourself. So there goes my team. They're going up to the top. The doors open on the top floor. You step out. Bam! It hits you. I was right. You smell the smell. You have options. Your first option is that you nope it. You go back into the elevator. The doors of the elevator close. The elevator descends. You hang your head in shame, as now you are officially chicken. And energetically, if you take that route, I will know. But I don't believe that will happen with you, because you all are on this ghost tour, which means you're about this life. So when faced with the paranormal, your real options are to investigate, to explore. And in this building, that means take a right or a left, because it's a little place with 2 halls. So you're on the top floor, you get the smell, you decide you're going to go to the left. Now you're walking on the Alamo side, top floor. Right away, you're going to see a door. It says Employee Service Elevator. That is today. If this were the 1920s, though, that employee service elevator, well, it was actually the body chute. Yes, y'all, I just said body chute. If there was a death, and of course there's deaths at all hospitals, and going back to the 20s and the 30s, it would have been more. From that top surgical floor, those bodies were tossed into the body chute, where they would free fall 13 floors, dead weight, until they smacked down in the morgue basement. And at that point, it was the mortician's job to scoop up whatever was left, often into group cremation piles. And my friends, it is all these wonderfully macabre things and more that keep the Mogran Hotel on the top of people's list of one of the most haunted hotels anywhere. It is right here in Alamo Plaza. It is our Mogran Hotel. It is a DoubleTree by Hilton.